the St. Mary's Rummage Sale.
We help them set up all the stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'd like to call the Monday, June 20th, 2016 City Council meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Alderman Santee?
Here.
Alderman Glab?
Here.
Alderman Schaefer?
Here.
Alderman Curry?
Here.
Alderman Wimmer?
Here.
Alderman Peterson?
Here.
Alderman Condon? Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The City of McHenry's mission statement is as follows. The City of McHenry is dedicated to providing its citizens, businesses, and visitors with the highest quality of programs and services in a customer-oriented, efficient, and fiscally responsible manner. The first item on our agenda this evening is the public input session. No one has signed in for that purpose. Is there anyone here wishing to address the council on a non-agenda item? I don't think so. Okay, thank you. The next item then is the consent agenda. Looking for a motion to approve. Alderman Curry.
Make a motion with the exception of item B.
Item B.
As in boy.
Is there a second on the motion? Alderman Condon. Any discussion on A, C through H? Alderman Curry?
Just one quick.
Or I'm sorry, through M?
I'm sorry. One quick question on item, well, it's on the parks use, special use. There was a letter included from an RC club about a request to not pay the $300 fee. Was that, it was unclear to me whether that was, which way we were going on that. And I think if you look at that particular one,
Page 81.
page 81, right. Right, and then there's a letter on the next page where they were requesting, it looks like they were requesting that we don't charge them $300, and then on the permit itself, it shows date paid 5/26/15. I don't know if that's just an error. And submitted to City Council June 20th, 2016.
No, we typically don't waive fees for organizations like that, so unless we specifically said in the call out that, which is a brief one, that we would recommend that it be waived, that the recommendation would be not.
So it's not
right.
Okay. So the date paid, that's just a mistake?
That's a mistake.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Alderman Wimmer?
No question.
Alderman Peterson?
No question.
Alderman Condon?
No questions.
Alderman Santee?
On D, do we have any idea when that is going to start, the Pearl Street Lincoln Transportation Enhancement Program?
We'll be ready for construction in 2017, but our funding is for 2018. So we're planning on asking for advanced funding.
So hopefully by 17 then?
Hoping.
Okay. Thank you.
Alderman Glab?
Nothing.
Alderman Schaefer?
No questions.
Any further discussion on item A or C through M? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Curry?
Yes.
Alderman Condon?
Yes.
Alderman Santee?
Yes.
Alderman Schaefer?
Yes.
Alderman Peterson?
Yes.
Alderman Wimmer?
Yes.
Alderman Glab?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Then looking for a motion on item B, authorization for the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement relating to the purchase of a boat ramp permit rights on the Fox River chain of lakes between the City of McHenry, the Village of Lakemore, and the Village of Johnsburg, and authorization to request, if needed, an extension of the deadline to complete the boat ramp installation from the current date of December 16th, 2016. For that motion, Alderman Wimmer.
Make a motion.
Is there a second? Alderman Condon. Any discussion, Alderman Wimmer?
Oh, glad to see it's finally happening. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you. Alderman Peterson?
I agree, and it's been, the park has just been sitting there, basically, with no activities.
Thank you. Alderman Condon?
I also agree.
Alderman Santee? Alderman Santee?
Yes, the only, reviewing this, I'm so pleased that this is coming through. I was just wondering, I didn't quite understand what's the village of Johnsburg involved in this in regards to the payments or, and I noticed that there's nothing to do with the county after the, when it goes to this agreement. It looks like there's 4 entities there and then it's down to 3. And the previous information I've received on this, I understand it was Lakemore that has the ramp, and just don't quite understand what significance Johnsburg has to do with this.
I'm going to ask Alderman, or Attorney McCardle to answer that.
Excuse
This
me.
was discussed with the council at one point, so go ahead, Dave.
There's a lawsuit pending between everyone except the city of McHenry, the county, Lakemore, and Johnsburg. And we weren't involved in it. I don't know anything about it. They're fighting over jurisdiction of some real estate to get from wherever point A is on Old Bay Road to the river. They were fighting over that for a couple of years. They resolved that dispute, and as part of that resolution of it, the city became involved in the negotiations for using this space that the city wants to use it for a boat ramp. And so they said, you know, they negotiated the $35,000 with Lakemore. Other than that, we have nothing to do with it. So the way this started out, about 6 months ago, I was contacted by the state's attorney and provided a draft of the intergovernmental agreement settling between all those parties and the city of McHenry. Well, I read it and read it. It didn't involve us. The only part that involved us was buying the rights to the ramp from Lakemore. So I said, I don't want to be part of your agreement. Whatever you parties, however you want to settle your case, that's fine. I'll write up my own 2-page agreement with Lakemore, and the state's attorney was good with that. So they took us out of that agreement, and so there's 2 agreements. That's my point. There's 2 agreements. There's one agreement that involves the county, Lakemore, Johnsburg parties, and then there's the second agreement, which was Lakemore and ourselves. And just recently, in the last draft you got, the state's attorney added Johnsburg. I don't know why, I don't care. They're added to our agreement for whatever reason. The language is exactly what I wrote. So it's non-event as far as I'm concerned. In fact, I didn't even ask why they were added.
And I'll speak to that a little bit. We've been trying to acquire a boat ramp for at least 10 years. This opportunity came up due to the conflict between the other entities. In order for us to acquire that boat ramp and be able to use the park that's been sitting there for decades, the mayor, or the president of Johnsburg, the president of Lakemore, and I sat down with the county, and we came up with a deal that we could all live with. It's to our benefit because we get the ramp. And if the issue is why are we allowing Johnsburg to participate, it's because that is the only way they were going to settle their part with Lakemore. It is completely beneficial to us to have as many users of that boat ramp pay as we can so that we recoup our money. It was a good faith, good neighbor agreement, and that's all I have to say about it.
And so one final point, so I've been in touch with the U.S. Army Corps about the transition between Lakemore and ourselves, knowing that the construction deadline in the original permit to Lakemore expires in November of this year. They verbally have no problems extending that time frame, so they're just waiting for us to finish up the agreement. We won't make any payment until that process of transition is completed, and our extension will be part of that if we need one. So that should be done in short order if the agreement's approved. That's fine.
Was, I can't recall when we had this discussion as a meeting. Was it a city, was it a of the whole, meeting of the whole?
It was executive session.
And Lakemore and Johnsburg couldn't take care of their own issues prior to us getting involved with this?
Correct.
And
We need the boat ramp. We're the ones that
No, I
need the
understand
boat ramp.
that. I understand that. It seems like they're getting a very lucrative deal on if we give them the rates, you know, that we're gonna give our own constituents, our own citizens. You know, that's a concern I have there. I just didn't quite comprehend how, you know, the village of Lakemore and Johnsburg and the county, you know, how they couldn't take care of their own, you know, their own disputes prior to us getting involved with this, because we've been always talking to Lakemore on this, correct?
No, we've always been talking to all entities, Johnsburg, Lakemore, and the county. Bill Habson and I have worked on this for a long time.
Even prior to this ongoing dispute with the three
No,
entities?
once it became clear that Lakemore did not have the property to use the boat ramp. And we need the boat ramp.
No, I understand the boat ramp is very positive here. I just was, you know, what was frustrating to me is wondering exactly, you know, how Johnsburg got involved in this, and it seems like they're coming through this with a very lucrative position and very lucrative rights to a boat ramp. I have no further comments right now.
Alderman Glad?
They don't have any rights to the boat ramp other than the use, correct?
Correct, and
That's
they're
right.
gonna
So
pay
we
the
could
same
just-
fee as we are.
We could decide on the design, we could decide on the operation, the hours, everything is.
Everything is on
under
us.
ours.
It's ours.
And I've thought about this, because I had the same type of reservations. The only thing I think of is the fact that in most cases, when we look at what we charge residents and non-residents, there isn't a big difference. And of course, this boat ramp will be open to the general public. So if somebody from Chicago wants to bring a boat up, they can as
Correct.
well.
Correct.
Okay. How though are we going to monitor this boat ramp as far as, and I know we don't have an exact, but what's our thinking how we're going to monitor it?
Yeah, I'll answer that. I mean, I think that is an issue that, you know, would have to be discussed and decided by council, either at the committee level or the council level, in terms of, you know, how permitting is done. Is it done similar to vehicle stickers or boat licensing stickers or trailer licensing stickers when you get them? Or is there an on-site, you know, for residents, is there something, or is there an on-site payment methodology of some reason? Obviously, it's gonna have to be monitored more than it is now, because it's not used for boat access right now, except for drop-in. I think you can probably drop canoes in down there, or kayaks, but, so that is yet to be decided.
Okay, so we haven't really
No.
thought about having somebody there permanently.
Or how we're gonna
however
license
many
it,
hours
sticker,
it's open or anything
right.
like that.
Right.
And of course, we would have an ordinance, I'm sure, that would fine people for using it
Yeah.
that are unauthorized and all that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, nothing.
Alderman Schaefer?
When I was looking this over, it looked like it was the agreement to me of, like, we've been working on this, we found a place, and ultimately the parties that were there had their dispute, but in order to get what we wanted for our area, we agreed to let them have use of it as opposed to not, and then not getting it. Is that correct, basically?
That is correct.
And they're gonna pay a fee just like our residents are, so it's gonna be operated under that to keep it in existence, I would believe. And it's probably more likely gonna be people outside the city more, I guess this is an assumption, using it as opposed to our residents that already have locations along the river. I don't see an issue with it at this point at all. I'm glad to see it move forward.
Alderman Curry?
Yeah, well, I'll echo that. No, I think it's a good thing to do. In fact, I know city administrator and I talked about this probably 6 months ago, and at least in general terms of what we were looking at getting this ramp rights from Lakeborn. But I had a lot of the same questions that Alderman Santee had, that he's mentioned. I guess one thing, so we're talking about a fee-based system, basically. Do we know at this point, or is it our intent, I guess I should say, that those fees would cover all of the ongoing costs associated with the boat ramp, operating costs, maintenance costs? I mean, obviously, anything you build is going to have some sort of maintenance costs and things like that.
That would be our goal, and what we do, we'd have to try to analyze what those maintenance costs would be, but what we could certainly do when we're creating the ordinance for the fees is say that any fees generated through this will go towards the maintenance and upkeep of that ramp. I mean, we could certainly dedicate them to that park or to that specific
But do we,
use.
and again, I know it's a guess at this point, but do we think that we would be able to cover that cost? I guess what I'm getting at is, in other words, is it going to be taxpayer subsidized by the residents of McHenry, or is it going to be covered by the fees that are charged?
The goal is to cover by the fees that are charged. I can't say that we've done an analysis, but that would be the goal, to cover it with the fees that are charged.
And I guess, again, I'm still a little confused about the whole thing, how it happened, and the comment that, the state's attorney added Johnsburg to our agreement. I guess I just don't understand why we would not be a party to why that happened. Because it does seem like they're getting.
It happened
Quite a
because
deal.
it was what the 3 mayors agreed to. That's why it was added.
So if Johnsburg, who has a property or had a property dispute with Lakemore,
There would be no deal.
so Lakemore would back out of it if there was no deal. All right. Okay, thank you.
Further questions? Alderman Schaefer?
Is it written into the contract if either one of these entities does get their own ramp somewhere, that it would be, same thing would apply or anything like that, or would they back down and not be a party to this anymore? Is there any language to that effect?
Could you say that one more time?
Is there any language to the effect that if Lakemore or Johnsburg acquired their own Fox River ramp,
It would be a separate goal.
would they be then still included in our ramp usage the same way as it's stated, or how would that
Yeah,
change
it
things?
doesn't-
Or would
it doesn't-
McHenry residents be?
It doesn't anticipate that. It doesn't deal with that issue topic. So the way it's written is they would still have access to ours, I would think, even if they had 3 more ramps. There's nothing to stop that.
Which we do understand that there aren't any more ramps. We had
Right.
to find
That's the
a
whole
ramp.
problem.
That's the
Right.
problem, or we
Well,
would
and
have just
that, I'm
got.
just saying that could change over time if our
They could
report
buy
changes.
someone else's
It
ramp
could,
rights.
yep.
Yeah.
But it could be in that zone, it could be somewhere in another zone. But if it was in that zone, that would be applicable.
Anything else?
That's all I had,
Alderman
thanks.
Webb?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that, I think the key issue more than anything else is, it's not that the residents of Lakemore and Johnsburg are going to get access to the boat ramp, because they're gonna have it as general public anyway. What we're talking about is the fee amount, and, again, like I said, I don't think it's gonna be that much difference. And, again, when we look at fee structures, I'm sure we're gonna be looking at trying to recoup, all the costs for maintenance and operations of the things, so.
And the more users we have, the
Exactly.
better it is.
So, that's the reason why I don't really have as big a problem as I did at the beginning with the same questions that some of the others had.
Thank you. Other questions? Alderman Santi?
Is there anything in agreement in regards to, are we looking at somewhere in the near future of possibly sharing maintenance of this facility with the other villages?
No.
It's not in this agreement.
Not in this agreement?
And I don't think that's in our best interest. It's our park.
And we'll be fully, we'll be 100% in charge of taking care of the maintenance and staffing it if it needs to be staffed.
Yes.
And establishing whatever fees go into it
Yeah,
and how it's
exactly.
operated, right?
Alderman Curry?
Just one, I believe I read this correctly. This is perpetual, right? In other words, for as long as it's being, or run by McHenry as a boat ramp. So we could close it down at some, I mean, I know we wouldn't want to do that right now,
Right.
obviously, but at some point in the future, it's totally our control to close it down. There's no ramifications for that.
Further questions? Please call the roll.
Alderman Wimmer?
Yes.
Alderman Condon?
Yes.
Alderman Schaefer?
Yes.
Alderman Santi?
Yes.
Alderman Curry?
Yes.
Alderman Glab?
Yes.
Alderman Peterson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The next item is a motion to approve a request for a Class A liquor license from 120 West Incorporated, doing business as the Sports Page Bar and Grill, located at 2314 West Route 120, and approval of an ordinance increasing the number of Class A licenses in effect from 25 to 26.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quickly, Mr. Urbanitis is here with us tonight, and I assume his family is with him, or?
Yes.
So thank you for being here. He's the president of 120 West. He submitted an application for a Class A liquor license to operate the Sports Page Bar and Grill, which the location of which will be at 2314 West Route 120, formerly Firewood Restaurant. It's been vacant, just as a point of reference, since December of 2015 of last year. Class A license, by definition, authorizes the sale of alcoholic liquors for consumption on premises and the retail sale of packaged liquors. The action before council tonight is a request for a Class A liquor license from 120 West Inc., doing business as Sports Page Bar and Grill, located again at 2314, and the approval of an ordinance increasing the number of Class A liquor licenses in effect from 25 to 26. And I know that the mayor has met with Mr. Urbanitis last week, and again, he's present, so if there's any questions that council has of either the mayor or Mr. Urbanitis, then I'm sure they'll be able to answer them for you. Thank you.
And I would add to that, it was an excellent meeting. I think this is going to be an outstanding liquor license holder in our community, very knowledgeable about the responsibilities and the rules that come with having a liquor license. So I'm very excited to see that building get filled right away, and I think we're gonna have an excellent partner. So with that, I'm looking for a motion to approve. Alderman Curry?
I'd like to make a motion that we grant a Class A liquor license as presented and approve an ordinance increasing the number of Class A liquor licenses from 25 to 26.
Thank you. Is there a second, Alderman Santee?
I will second the motion.
Discussion, Alderman Curry?
Just to echo your comments that it's just great to see something come back in there in relatively quick fashion. Since we lost the other restaurant, I looked at your menu; it looks pretty good. So you'll probably.
I would have been sooner if it wasn't for the lawyers.
Not this one.
Oh, pardon. My sister's an attorney too.
Alderman Wimmer?
Good luck and welcome. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Alderman Peterson?
I think we solved that problem with people exiting, as far as the lights hitting the neighbors. Did we solve that problem with the fence and things? So
I think
that
that's
still
all.
is, you know, on the books, so to speak,
Right.
you know, because we had, you know, at first it was a problem. So, yeah, welcome to the community.
Thank you. Alderman Conley?
Fully support it, and it was really nice to read that another community wholeheartedly recommended him as well,
Right.
and all the community support that we've given, so welcome.
Alderman Santee?
I will also say welcome to the city of McHenry. The location on Arlington Heights, is that just north of Thomas and Rand?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between Torrey Luke's and Route 12.
Exactly, know exactly where you're at. Yeah. And,
I tried to buy it in '92, but I bought it in '01 for, in '92, he has 50% more than I paid in '01. So I couldn't make a deal with
There you
him.
go. Congratulations.
Alderman Glad?
Yeah, I too know the sports bar there. Basically, we drop magazines off there every month,
What's up?
magazines. And I'll tell you, every time I go by, the place is always well kept up and neat and clean, like Firewood was before it would shut down. And I'm sure, you know, again, it's going to be an asset for that part of town. So
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Alderman Schaefer?
I'm looking forward to it as well, as I know our many residents and families too, so looking forward to it. I hope so. Thank you.
Yeah. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Alderman Curry,
Yes.
Alderman Santee,
Yes.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman Condon,
Yes.
Alderman Schaefer,
Yes.
Alderman Wimmer.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, and good luck to you and your family. We look forward to patronizing your restaurant.
We're going to dinner now.
I'm sorry.
We're going to dinner at Bimbo's now.
Well, there you go, good job. And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but you're free to go if you would like to go. You don't have to
Stomach is
stay.
growling.
Thank you, good luck.
Good night.
The next item on the agenda is a motion to approve a professional services agreement with HR Green Incorporated for the Millstream Drive Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project for an amount not to exceed $22,100 and authorization to publicly bid the project. John?
Thank you, Mayor. Staff requests City Council to consider a professional service agreement with HR Green for design, bidding, and construction observation for the Millstream Drive Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project.
Looking for a motion on this item? Alderman Schaefer?
I'll make the motion to approve this engineering service agreement with HR Green for the Millstream Drive sanitary sewer rehab project in an amount not to exceed $22,100.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Alderman Wimmer?
Second.
Discussion, Alderman Schaefer.
No questions.
Alderman Curry?
I have a couple of questions. Do we have I realize we're gonna get the engineer's probable cost estimate out of this motion here, or this project, but do we have any idea what the overall project cost might be? I mean, we're talking 100,000, 500,000, $1 million, I mean, what?
Yeah, we're estimating 122,000 for the construction costs on it. So with the design, the observation, the necessary soil borings, all that kind of stuff, we were estimating 144,000.
Okay, so we, 122 for the construction and 22 for the engineering cost, is that
Right.
what I heard?
Yeah, we went out to a couple of contractors with just the project, just trying to get current costs, and we came in at the Merriman, who's actually doing the project in town. They were at 111,000 for the construction, so our number, our estimate's right there.
Okay. And this would be directed to Director Schmidt, would this be a project that, with our new position, at some point in the future, would it be the type of project that that position would handle the engineering on, since it seems to be a relatively small project?
Depending on his workload, I don't know if he would get involved. I think he would assist in the bidding process as far as the CAD work or design work. I don't think so at this point. And once again, depending on his workload, we could probably do construction observation on this project.
Okay, and one final thing, on page 2 of your agreement, which is 133 in our packet, if you look under engineering design, there's an item 4 that says provide drawing for locating the city logo on the tower and the tower painting scheme.
That is a typo.
Okay.
Apologize.
Cut the paste thing or something?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Alderman Wimmer? Was it your motion? I'm sorry. Did I go all the way around this one? It was Jeff's, it was Jeff's motion. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Sorry.
Alderman Peterson?
This is gonna go from Clearbrook south to where the alley comes in.
Yes.
Are there gonna be road closures?
Not anticipating a full road closure. It would just be like one lane while they're out there working, and they would, have flaggers direct the traffic around.
Or go down Clearbrook and go around?
There could be temporary
Detour.
detours while they're working.
As far as I'm concerned, you can close it, just leave it closed. Solve the cut-through traffic problem at the same time. Thank you. Can I bribe anybody, dig a ditch there, just leave it open?
Alderman Condon?
No question.
Alderman Santee?
I have no questions.
Alderman Glad.
Everything's been spelled out.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Alderman Schaefer,
Yes.
Alderman Wimmer,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman Curry,
Yes.
Alderman Condon,
Yes.
Alderman Santee,
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item, excuse me, is the mayor's statement and reports. The only thing I have this evening is to say that our summer concert series, our Thursday night summer concert series has been extremely well attended already, very well received. This coming Thursday night, we have Hans and the Hormones, sponsored by Bus for Lincoln Mercury, then back to the city band, but it should be a fun concert. I urge you all to attend if you're able. Also on Sunday of this week is the Day at Peterson Farm. Our Landmark Commission works just so tirelessly on this event, and it's always a lot of fun, and they do a superb job of showcasing the farm for us. So if you're able, please step out there and give them your support. They work so tirelessly on our behalf, so urge you to do that too. And that's all I have this evening. Are there any committee reports tonight? Alderman Schaefer?
We did have a Public Works Committee meeting prior to this meeting, so those minutes will be forthcoming.
Thank you. Any other committee reports? Any staff reports tonight?
All I had is I was remiss early on, I wanted to introduce our guests in the back. Most of what you know, Ed Larson is our IT manager, and but one of our newest employee, at least in that division, is Aaron Grieve, and he's running the cameras for us tonight in Bill's absence, but with Tim Harris's retirement here a few months ago, we had the opening for IT position and went through a process and was proud to be able to offer that position to Aaron. Aaron's a local guy, so glad to be able to have somebody in McHenry, or at least a local person in the position. So welcome, Aaron.
Welcome, Aaron. Thank you. Any other staff reports?
I don't know.
Any future agenda items? Seeing none, looking for a motion to adjourn. Alderman Wimmer,
Motion to adjourn.
seconded by Alderman Peterson. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Alderman
Yes.
Wimmer,
Yes.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
Alderman Santee,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman Schaefer,
Yes.
Alderman Curry,
Yes.
Alderman Condon.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.